Hello everybody, this is Compost Chicken Queens Plus. In this case, a class of BunBuns who we last night, got to drink this stuff. Yeah. She wasn't interested this morning, or yesterday morning I should say. But now, yes, as of yesterday, she's like, oh, okay. Good girl. Trying to keep it off her chin. Yes. The Benny stuff probiotics. If you buy it as the dry powder container, it takes a month to arrive, but syringes of 3 will be here tomorrow if my partner got the message in time, or hopefully today if it was early enough. I had 5 hours at that point, and I'm not sure what his sleeping time is now, so So here's the bun. Luckily she's willing to eat. Hopefully her digestive system has agreed to keep going, because once it stops, that's it. They die. Oh, you can't eat on your feet again, ma'am. Yep. There you go. Good girl. Oh. And we're going to give her as much of this as possible. I got about 4 of these syringes into her before she didn't want any more, so I figured that was good. I don't know what the size of their stomach is. So if anybody has any experience in this, it'd be really cool to hear from you. And hope this has been helpful to you, including the improvised straw. If you don't happen to have a syringe, I try to keep a bunch of them in the house for this sort of thing. That was really helpful for the squirrels that I've taken care of before, for their formula when they're little babies. Oops. Kind of like that. Good girl. Also for flushing out wounds. Not this type, obviously, but not the type she has, but. And also for portioning out medicine, for liquid medicine for animals and kids and even yourself. Oh yeah. Good girl. And then after this, we'll do her back. And her back. Or even give her, see if she'll take some more of this. I want to fill her belly as much as possible. Yeah. Luckily the probiotic stuff, according to the ratings people who were saying that they used it on their rabbit or on their whatever, and the rabbit and whatever really liked it, so they were actually quite enthusiastic about the idea of eating it, which is good. She seems enthusiastic now, but I was really worried yesterday when she was barely taking it. And then I got it into the syringe and she's like, oh, goody. Just trying to keep it in her mouth and not dripping down all over her body, since she's probably having a hard time moving her neck to clean herself. There you go. hand out of the camera shot. Yep. You good? You getting full? Let's finish this ring showing him. I would highly recommend it's part of anyone's kit, regardless of the animals they have. Of course, assuming that the individual's animals or their species can tolerate the medicines. Some mecha and various things like polysporine and probiotics. If you have a dog, there's dog and cat kind, or even just dog kind. And if you have rabbits, then there's kinds like that. I wish I had that, but I was worried that I'd buy it and then, the expiry date go past it, because it is very expensive. How's that, ma'am? Oh. Wiping it off your face. Yeah. Just like a kid, you scrape it off their face and then you put it back in their mouth. Okay, let's see if we can get some more in here. Get the air out. I made a batch of it yesterday and put it in the fridge in a Ziploc bag in the container. Yeah. So, in the medicine or the first aid kit, I'd recommend also iodine, gauze, if you ever heard of micropore tape, that stuff is fabulous for all sorts of stuff. It is has micropores, so it's breathable, but it's antibacterial. It sticks pretty darn well. It's not that expensive. I think it's $2 for a roll. Well, it depends on the size, the width. It can go up to be pretty wide. I think the shortest is about, or thinnest is about that between the pads of my fingers, and the widest is about like this, and that's about $5. I really love the the 3M, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a pad, or a patch that's see-through, it's breathable, but it's waterproof, and I've used that as dressing for surgery wounds on myself, and really works really well. What else do I have in my kit? Chamomile lotion, hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol, various kinds of gauzes and band-aids. Of course, it's always a good idea to make sure that your stuff is up to date. Go through it once in a while. Throw out anything that's not in, the expiry date's gone by. And yeah, want some more bun? Good girl. Yeah. Oh. How much time do we have here? Oh, it's 9 minutes already, and this is just feeding, so I'm not sure anybody's really watching this, but I'm very thankful if you do watch it. Leave comments if you want. Like, subscribe, share, ring the notification bell if that's your thing. If you want to help in my adventures financially, I will leave my cryptocurrency address, my email address in there, and maybe even if I can figure out how, my Amazon wish list, because there are some stuff in there that I'd like. I don't expect anything from anyone, but it would be really appreciated if you have any spare money to throw in to help a BunBuns or take care of a wobbly chicken or a fed bill. Yes, here we go, rabbit. I also am more than happy to take care of squirrels. If anyone in the local area of Guelph finds a baby squirrel or even an adult squirrel that needs help, I can do that. I've raised 3 baby squirrels now. Since about 12 years ago was the first one, and more recently was both times here in this location, both within the last 3 years. And yeah, they're not actually that difficult. They're just very, very time consuming when they're babies. You need to feed them every 2 to 3 hours, 24 hours a day, until they decide to wean themselves. In both cases, just after you crack open the next can of $30 baby formula, puppy formula. Oops. And she's doing very well. After this, we're going to sponge bath her back and put the dermagel on again. Put her back. Yeah. Such a good bunny. Yes, I was very worried about you yesterday when you weren't drinking any. This is much easier anyway with the syringe as opposed to the deconstructed, cannibalized pen that I had. But that's part of the game, right, folks? Improvise. If you can't find what you actually need, try to find something that will do in its stead. And last night I went for a walk, and I found a little hockey net. So I'm gonna find a way to make it so that I have an extension to her little recovery tractor. Obviously the hockey net itself is not suitable because anything could break through it. She could chew her way out, but it'd be a great frame. And also I might be using it as an extension to the other rabbit's enclosure, but we'll see. Oh no, Miss Messy Face. There you go. You're eating well, at least. I'm happy with that. Yeah. One thing I'd like to point out is when you're syringe feeding an animal, particularly a young one, not so much her because you don't need to stick it in her mouth, or just put it in the corner of her cheek, or hold it closer to her mouth so that she can lick it. So when you're feeding a baby, like a squirrel, you need to put one of your fingers along the shaft of the syringe while you push with the other one. Or you can use 2 hands, because sometimes they will, if you push, it will stick and then slip. You end up pushing out all the liquid at once, and if they're sucking it on it like a baby, it could push it right up into their lungs. You know, it's sort of like if you have a sports drink bottle and you squeeze it. If you're not capable of drinking it fast enough, you could inhale it instead, and that would be very, very, very bad. Could kill them. Get that stuff into their lungs and get pneumonia. So you always make a habit of putting one of your fingers along that, and using that as as a break, because it could slip easily and just make a huge mess, or worse, go down their lungs. Yeah. I'm glad you like the taste of that, huh? This is nearly done, and we're going to take a break from this, do her back, and then see if she's still hungry. Figured the best idea is to do this first. And then, because she's in pain, she might not be so easily as interested in eating, but especially when I start mucking with her back again. But we'll do a little up to date and show you what her back looks like. Yeah. I'm just trying to scrape this off her chin. After I finish doing her back, I'll use the wet stuff to clean up her around her chin and her neck and her foot. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, good girl. I'm trying to think of what else I have in the animal medical kit. I have a smorgasbord of stuff in there. Maybe I'll show you guys at some point. I don't have any fish at the moment, but keeping a bunch of those weekend feeder things where they're basically nutrient blocks with food in them, and when they leach into the water, they feed the fish. Those are handy if you have fish. Quite the oh, you're getting full, huh? Better too full in this case than too empty, because you're not feeling well. Gotta keep your digestive system running. Yes, with rabbits, their digestive system is very, very sensitive. If they stop eating, or like you forget to feed them, or they're not feeling well, and they don't eat, then their digestive system will grind to a halt, and it will stop working, and then they die. So don't leave your pet without enough food, and if they're not feeling well, keep a big eye on them, your rabbit, to make sure that they are getting enough food, because that little conveyor belt in their digestive system must never go empty for any period of time, because it will stop, and that's that. So there, we have finished that job. We're at nearly 20 minutes. Here we go. So here we have the water. And put a couple of drops in there. A few drops, it says. And this. We don't need much of it. So let's see, we can do it by quarter sheet of Bounty. No BunBun. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn the camera around. Quick look. There. It changes every day. That's it dry now, mind you. So it's been getting hard from this. I know, sweet stuff. That's pain. We gotta soak it though, ma'am. We have to soak it. I'm having to put pressure on her head. Put her head down. I know. So I can stretch that wound. The vet specifically said to stretch the wound open. I know. Oh sucks. Well, it's one way to get her feet clean. She put her feet in the other water dish that I left here out last night by accident. I know. Here, we can do a quick look at what it looks like now when it's wet. I know. Ah, she's peeing on me. Because of that. Yep. And that's what it looks like now. And yes, but I deserved it. So, I know it sucks. I know it's miserable, isn't it? Miserable, nasty stuff, isn't it? I'm so sorry. And of course the wasps are out in force. Here's one of the dry ones. Sticks out back there. Let it absorb. Well, that's a lot of pee. At least I know you've been drinking. I'll show everybody. On my leg, on the ground. Yeah. That's a good sign. At least you're drinking and it's dark. So hopefully that means you've also been eating enough to clean your system out. To feed yourself, besides what I'm giving you. Have to take a real critical look at what her food container looks like. See if she's actually taken much out of it. She doesn't making many poos yet, so I'm a little worried about that. But she is eating, so hopefully things are going through. I'll also move her rabbit tractor to a new area. Give her some fresh nibbles, and then I get a fresh pallet to have a look and see if she's making new poo. It's easier to tell when there isn't already poo there. Yeah, this poor thing. Well, you want to clean your mouth too while we're at it, ma'am? And roll that. I know it's rude, isn't it? Yeah. Wipe your piece. There you go. That's better. And last bubble sheet. Apparently, rabbit poo is very, very good, high quality fertilizer. It's called cold fertilizer, meaning that it's not harsh and it won't burn your plant roots or your plants. When you put it on the garden, you don't have to let it compost down like you do chicken poo, or I think probably cow poo is like that as well. Their pee, I've discovered through watching a video from, I think, Africa, can be used as either not a pesticide, but they don't like the smell, I think. But I'll have to look it up again because I don't remember. I was just in awe of the fact that you could use it for stuff. And there we go, Bun. Using your ears as a... Oh, baby. Yeah. It's gotten quite a... I know this sucks. Yeah. It's quite the adventure this is. Just have to make sure to stretch it out. I don't want it to get heavy scar tissue back there. I want fresh wound feeling. Oh, lumpy. There we go. There we go, babe. See if we can get another syringe full into her. Always best. Put that medicine kit aside. So she'll do it. Take another syringe. Part of the syringe. In this case, I didn't pull it properly. Let's see. There we go. And some more bite? Oh, you're not interested. Good girl. Trying to recount other things I know about rabbits. Actually, I know a fair bit, but I think that part of my brain right now is not, it hasn't been turned on. It's been switched off to conserve energy. Come in here. Yep. Yep. This rabbit, if anybody's just tuning in and hasn't watched any of the other videos, she is between 6 and 8 years old. I got her from a Kijiji ad from a family whose daughter had her for 6 years and got tired of her, and she'd already been an adult when they got her, so I'm guessing between 6 and 8 years old. And she's a very sweet little Rex dwarf rabbit. Yeah, is that a good name? That's right. Very impressed that she's actually taking this, because I was really worried yesterday morning, the first time I gave her this. She didn't seem interested at all, and I had to kind of force it down her throat. Well, put it into her cheek and then try to make her swallow. There we go. So she got hungry last night. Yeah. Well, yesterday, because then she started eating in the afternoon. More happily. Apologies if this video is really boring. Feel really free to click away. But if you like watching a rabbit eat out of a syringe and see her wound progress, much appreciated if you leave comments, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd love to hear your stories. Any advice you've had given from a vet or other people that worked for you. Tell me about your pets. It's always good to share stories. Oh, the chickens are the next thing in order right now. Somebody's laying an egg, or at least taking credit for an egg. I'm not sure if it's actually a egg layer, or one of the broodies taking the acclaim for it. Good girl. Mm-hmm. There we go, girl. Yeah, I think that was a good job. Clean your face, ma'am. And then say goodbye to the lovely folks on YouTube. Yeah. I know. I know. There you go, Bun. Anyways, hope everybody has a lovely day. Wherever, whenever, and whoever you are, morning, noon, and night. Bye.